We are standing here today as people of different ages, different professions, different religions, different opinions, different nationalities, but we stand here today because what unites us is significantly more than what divides us. I never had a chance to meet Daphne Caruana Galizia, just as I never had a chance to meet Jan Kuciak, investigative journalist who was killed just 4 months after Daphne. And I still feel my life is very much connected to their story, just as I believe lots of people feel. I was born 10 years after the Velvet Revolution and the end of the Cold War, in a country of a former Eastern Bloc, which started to slowly but surely create its own way in the Western world. I was born into a country where journalists were supposed to be working freely without fear. It was with great anger and sadness that I realized it was just an illusion. I was 18 years old when I started to organize anti-corruption marches in Slovakia, 19 when Jan Kuciak was murdered, and we founded an initiative for a decent Slovakia. There were people in the streets, just like in Valletta. In the whole country, in some towns, the numbers were even higher than during the revolution. Our prime minister kept saying that the protests were organized by a young girl from her kids' room with money from her money box, as anybody should believe that. He called us foreign agents paid by George Soros. We were interrogated by the criminal agency because of suspicions of committing treason. Very desperately, he wanted to spread fear and distrust because he knew how dangerous it was for his retention of power. And that goes for every egocentric power maniac who tries to behave as an honorable politician, but instead doesn't care about anybody but themselves. But fighting for what you believe is right is stronger than any false accusations, any threats. I know that, and I know that you know that. You're proving it right now. Daphne knew that more than anybody, and it didn't make her stop. Murder of a journalist is deeply traumatizing, of course, the most for their family, but also for the whole society. It is a great responsibility of that society to never let forget anyone. Otherwise, not only no journalist will be safe in the future, but no citizen. In our initiative for a decent Slovakia, we had this motto: we are the ones we have been waiting for. And by we didn't mean us organizers of the gatherings, but us citizens, everyone who came to the streets, who care about their country, who are not afraid, and who find time to come and participate. To serve the people is a great honor, at least it should be. It is a sensitive topic, and sometimes, and I understand why, but I want to say that not every politician is bad. It is not actually the requirement for the job. I call on political representatives: show by your actions that you listen to the citizens. Show that your job is a service and perform it the way that the citizens don't have to protest, but instead observe how you offer good solutions which are making their life better and easier. I also want to speak to the people who are not here and don't support these activities, but hopefully will read about them. I imagine some of you don't understand why this is so important and necessary, and why people here are not only fighting for a better future for themselves, but also for you who don't care. Please don't be fooled. It is not the people in the streets calling for justice who should stop. Don't forget that there are real enemies, and there are corruption, lies, conspiracies, hatred, and all those who spread them. This is your country. Don't let it be stolen by those who don't care about you, who are betraying you. Instead of hatred, intimidation, and lies, let's call for decency, truth, and inference of liability. Instead of populism and false promises, let's call for fair solutions, which will give everyone from the weakest to the strongest an honest change for a decent and peaceful life. Instead of normalizing the killing of journalists, let's call for a better future in which nothing like that will ever happen again. Malta belongs to Maltese people, not oligarchs or corrupted elites and politicians. To be able to make decisions about yourself and your country is a privilege which had to be fought for. Don't ever forget that. Democracy is not a happy end. It requires hard work, continuous work, which never stops. So thank you for fighting. Thank you for being here for Daphne's family. And thank you for keeping her legacy. You are not alone. You never will be. Thank you.